Hey, it's Austin Zalkowski from A2 Mastermind, and I just wanted to make this short video for you just so you would know how to use your private coaching folder once you've signed up. So, after you sign up for coaching, you will receive an email from either me or Ryan Maltrup, depending on who your coach is. There will be an invitation to your private coaching folder, and it will give you access to it. Now, you might not get this until either right before or even after your first coaching session that's scheduled. But within the first week or so, you should be getting this. So once you get the email, um, the actual name of the folder will come through. We're looking at the email right now as the subject line. So this is sample client, invitation to collaborate, and it's coming from me. So you're going to go ahead and click on that. And once you do, it's got the folder and it says, this is my little welcome message to you. Here's your private coaching folder, and you can open it. Now, opening it that way only allows you to look at the stuff that's there. So you see this coaching log, pre-call questions, your bucket list. That doesn't really help you out too much. But what you do want to do is over here, and actually let me move the screen just a little bit. Over here, there's an Add to Drive button at the top right, and you're going to hit that. Okay, so it's been added to your drive, and now what we want to do is click Open in Drive. And now what's happened is that we're in this, and we can actually access it and make changes to the files if we want. If you want to get back to here, by the way, if you ever want to get back to this folder, all you have to do is go to your, no matter where you are, as long as you're logged into your Gmail or your Google, you can type in drive.google.com. So drive.google.com. If you click that, or hit enter rather, that folder that has been shared with you is right there. So I can double click it, and I'm in. And in this folder, there are several documents. I'll go through them one by one just to explain what they are and how they're used. The first one is the coaching log. So if you open this up, this is really meant to be a place for you to keep notes about what happens. Every now and then I or Ryan, depending on who your coach is, will leave a note in there after a coaching session, but it's really meant to be for you rather than for us. And the nice thing is that we can both look at it at the same time. So if you put some notes in there you want us to take a look at, we can open it up and you can have it open. We can both make changes at the same time. It's kind of like having Word that we can both look at and work on at the same time, even when we're not in the same place. I suggest that you put your most recent coaching sessions first. So if we just had the December 1st one, but now we had that last week and we just had the December 8th one, you're taking notes. You put December, this will be a week later, of course, 8th, 2015, and bold it if you want. And this really does work just like Microsoft Word, and then you'd say your notes, and you could have your bullet points, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of the idea. And if you want to do the fancy little separators like what I did, so for the next day, for example, if you want to make it so it's a clean cut, you can hit this insert horizontal line, and lo and behold, you've got your separation. So that's this file, and what I'm going to do now is go back to the folder. So this file was opened in a new tab, so I'll close that. And by the way, it still saves, just saves on its own. Any changes you make. I'm going to go back to the file, or the folder rather. Here in the folder, there's a couple more documents. The most important one, perhaps even more important than the coaching log, is this pre-call questions. And if I open that up real quick, this is meant to help give you and me, or you and your coach, the opportunity to get very synced up and intentional before a coaching call even starts. And so we encourage people to fill it out the day of the coaching call, ideally not more than an hour before the call, but if you have to do it in the morning or something like that, or even if you have to do it the night before, no big deal. But the main thing is it helps us to get really synced up so we're not wasting time on the call, and it primes my subconscious and it primes your subconscious to really be ready to have a powerful conversation that's going to bring about positive results in your life. So There's some pretty standard questions in here. I won't go through each of them, but the idea is to get us really synced up and primed for a very powerful call. Now, what I suggest that you do each week, rather than like printing this out and filling it out by hand, though you're welcome to if you want, because you're gonna have to scan it back up. The easiest thing to do is going to be, so I've gone back to the folder here, is to just make a quick copy of it. So we'll say right click. So I right clicked on it, and now one of the options is to make a copy. So then left click. So give it just a second. It's create a copy, and then I can right click, or I think that's control click. I'm not sure on a Mac. I'm on a Windows machine, but I can right click and say rename. There it is, rename. And so I would put the date. So let's just say this was the December 8th pre-call questionnaire. So I could say 12-08-2015. It doesn't really matter how you do it. Just do something consistent so I can see it each time I come in. And then we'll say pre-call questions. Works, just something reasonable. And that way you can keep the main normal one, and you can just make a copy. And if you happen to overwrite this one, for example, you can always just make a copy of one of the previous ones that you did and just fill it out again. And now what you can do is go in, for example, if this was December 8th, you'd go in that day and you'd fill this all out, and all the changes would be saved automatically. And then when I come into the folder before our call, I'm going to see the one for that day, and I'll have a look at it before we start the call. And it just gets us both really well primed to have a great conversation. This over here on the far right is more for fun than anything else, though there is something to it. There's a lot of power in being very specific about what you want, and don't be surprised if you put something in here, like for example, a trip to France, and that it might come true. So, by 6 months from now, I would like to 1, 2, 3. By 12 months from now, I'd like to 1, 2, 3. Don't get too crazy about this. Well, I should say, don't try and get too specific or stress yourself out. But if you feel compelled and you get excited, feel free to fill this out. And it's just a little bucket list of things you'd like to achieve. And if you wanted to add, by 24 months from now, or by 5 years from now, or by next week, whatever, that's totally up to you. But it's just kind of a fun tool that is just to throw in for the coaching folder. So that is the basic way to do this. And just as a quick review, we go through, we click open here, and when we do that, it's going to take us to it in this sort of non-editing view where we can't do a whole lot. And over here on the top right, before I clicked to add it to my drive, I had to do that. So if you're opening this the first time, again, you're going to see add to my drive here. And once you do that, it changes to open in Drive. And then once you do that, you can open it in Google Drive like we were before, which gives you this view over here. And then you can make all your edits, make new documents. Of course, it's very easy to make a new document. Google Docs, boom, there it is. You can rename it. All very simple. But this just gives us a nice place where we can both see it. And right now, for example, Ryan and I can both see this. And then this is the client mastermind. And this is just the generic file setup. But anyway, when you're in your coaching folder, only you and I, if I'm your coach, will be able to see it, or you and Ryan, if Ryan happens to be your coach. So it's a private place, and it's a good place to just share what's going on in your life, share what insights you had, and help me to stay up to speed with the best things that can be very helpful to you. So thank you for watching, and I wish you a wonderful week. Can't wait to hop on our next coaching call. Take care. I'll see you.